The sharp-witted of you may already know the trend, that the challenge requirements are getting more and more demanding. The number of moments I have has increased, but those who have been participating in the Top Shot challenge for a long time may feel that it is still difficult to achieve the challenge, and that I have to keep buying something to achieve it. The reason is that Dapper Labs often changes the way challenges run or sets conditions, making them increasingly difficult to achieve. Today, let's find out why Dapper has no choice but to do this, and in line with this, we look at what strategies we can take to increase profits in the future. To start with the conclusion, we need to pay more attention to new series moments in the future, and we need to consider actively participating in pack drops. I will now explain why. If anyone can complete the challenge, are the rewards worth it? Probably not. Therefore, the key to running the challenge is to keep the amount of rewards minted at an appropriate level. Since challenge rewards are minted for the number of users who complete the challenge, it will be important for Dapper Labs to maintain a certain level of users who can afford to complete the challenge. Since the total amount of minted moments increases over time, if appropriate requirements are not applied to challenge moments, the number of challenge achievers increases and the reward supply becomes too large, which intensifies the oversupply problem of moments. This can cause users to lose the appeal of challenge rewards and can break the balance of supply and demand for moments as a whole. Therefore, Dapper Labs has no choice but to change the challenge requirements to become more and more demanding. Series 1 moments or Top Shot debut moments are more popular than others among users. I'm not denying that the first series and the first moments have a relatively high value in the long run. However, for the following reasons, Dapper Labs has incentives to encourage users to own new series of moments, and we need to pay more attention to new moments. First, Dapper Labs has an incentive to encourage users to actively participate in pack drops and market transactions. If the challenge requirements do not have restrictions on the moments series and simply require rare moments, users who have rare moments of the previous series do not need to purchase new series packs or new moments from them. This can directly damage Dapper's revenue from pack drops and transaction fees. Therefore, Dapper Labs is likely to consider giving sufficient benefits to users for holding new series moments. Second, Dapper Labs has an incentive to develop various series in a balanced way to expand the Top Shot user base. If Dapper Labs continues to run TSD or Series 1 oriented challenges, users will only want to have TSD or Series 1 moments and ignore the rest of the series moments. In addition, new users will find it difficult to get TSD moments, which have already increased in price, so they will be alienated from the challenge. And this will be an obstacle for these users to become active users. Therefore, it would be desirable for Dapper Labs to create a healthy Top Shot ecosystem by running the challenge in a way that makes sufficient use of new moments, rather than focusing only on existing moments. The recent challenges are also going in that direction. So what would be our optimal strategy now? It's that simple. It is to buy new series moments at a low price or to participate in pack drops. In particular, if Dapper Labs use new moments more and more in setting challenge requirements, participating in pack drops will be more attractive. The series for Metallic Gold Pack, which was dropped twice in March, had an positive expected value. And the upcoming pack drop also seems to be worth the investment considering the MGLE challenges and future Flash challenges. It can be a greater profit opportunity for users who are subject to pack drop cashback, according to Top Shot Score. When the challenge starts, you will be able to participate in the challenge with the moment you earned from pack break, or sell it at a higher price to make a profit. Challenges that require common moments have become noticeably less frequent, and now more often require at least rare moments. One strategy that has worked so far has been to have the cheapest one of a player's all rare moments, but now the cheapest rare in the latest series could be an investment worth considering. Also, Parallel Moment also has a tier according to the amount minted, and recently Parallel Moment badges have been created. There is a possibility that there will be challenges that require parallel badges of a certain level or higher in the future, so if you buy a higher tier at a low price now that there is no benefit for parallel, I think it will be an opportunity for future profits. In addition, until now, challenge moments have been determined mainly by using only some of characteristics such as tier, series, and several badges, but in the future, various badges such as play types and positions that have not been used so far may also be used as requirements for the challenge. Less than 4 years after the Top Shot platform was launched, there are still only a few championships, MVP, and rookie badged moments. Therefore, it will take a little longer for these badges to be fully utilized in the challenge. In the long term, I think Dapper Labs might consider adding new badges such as All-NBA First Team, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Scoring Leader, Game Winner, Hall of Fame, Retired Number, and so on. This is because in order to operate a variety of new concept challenges, it is necessary to differentiate the characteristics of moments in more detail. and diversification of badges is a good way to do that. Here's a summary of today's video. The challenge requirements are gradually increasing, and in particular, new moments are increasingly being used in recent challenges. And it is expected that the challenge using the added parallel badges will be introduced in the future. In the long term, there is a possibility that new badges will be added and used for the challenge. Therefore, we need to keep an eye on how Dapper Labs changes its challenge rules and adjust our strategy accordingly. If this video was helpful, please press the subscribe, like, and set alarm buttons. I'll come back with a good video next time. Thank you.